So really, to summarise, BVI is actually a new concept. Okay, it's a new way of looking at body fat. It's a new way of looking at body volume distributions, and it's a new way of looking at those individuals who may be at risk of cardiovascular disease. It also gives us numerous anthropometric measurements. I think you can get something like 300 different measurements, and you can look to see whether those are useful to you or not, whether you work in the retail industry or whether you work in the medical profession. From the medical profession point of view, we've demonstrated in this pilot study that body volume index, and particularly abdominal volume, correlates well with waist circumference, it correlates well with blood glucose, with CRP, and with bad cholesterol. We've also demonstrated, albeit in 53 individuals, that BVI can actually help you track changes in obesity. It can help you track weight gain, and it can help you track weight loss. And that's applicable both to an individual and to a cohort population as well. Now, clearly these are early days as far as medical use of BVI goes, but we're very hopeful. One of the things that we need to clearly determine is normative data. So we need to know what normal body volumes are for individuals before we start classing people as obese based on body volume. This hopefully is not too far down the line. I've met with the retailers from Next and Marks and Spencer's, etc., who have the largest UK database for this, and they're very, very keen to give us that data free of charge to use how we want to try and develop body volume indices. Clearly you need longer term epidemiological studies, because what we're really interested in is the fact that, or interested in establishing the fact that BVI will actually help us predict those individuals who are increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. But clearly we can't do that until we've followed a population for long enough and actually look to see what the prevalence of heart attacks and strokes are based in those individuals with raised BVIs. At the moment, however, what we're trying to do is use surrogate markers to try and establish that. So markers which will help us potentially at the moment, albeit after 2-3 years, to try and determine those at increased risk of cardiovascular disease. So we're collaborating with the Mayo Clinic to try and establish these various indices. This was the conclusion from the paper that we jointly published with the Mayo Clinic, and essentially it suggested that BVI indices could be useful or better biomarkers than BMI at predicting cardiovascular disease. Since my visit to the Mayo Clinic, they've made some significant progress. They've scanned a further 1,450 individuals using both BVI and other techniques for volume distribution, including the BOD-POD. They've actually looked at BVI and compared it with other measurements, again, which Ian will touch upon for you. And the plan is that we will publish some of these, including the validation of BVI and the other anthropometric measurements for later on, hopefully within the next year or two.